Hey everyone, it's Scott from SCG Studios. I am back making another video for you, and this one's going to start a new series, because I just like series. This one is going to be about how to mix a live recording. So, lots of churches need this done, especially now in the season of the coronavirus, where no one's meeting online, or no one's meeting in person anymore. Everyone's going online, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to make this kind of a video to show my process for doing it. You may be wondering, what's the big deal? Why do I need to mix my music separately from what is mixed in the room? Why can't I just record through it to a USB stick and add that to a video and upload it? And well, the reason is what sounds good in the room. The short answer, what sounds good in the room isn't going to sound good when you listen to it straight. Listen to a straight recording of it, because and I've said this in a previous video, but the sound guy or person, could be a woman. It's normally guys though. The sound guy is adding EQ and compression and making adjustments based on what he is hearing from his vantage point, if you will, in the room, and you combine that with big acoustic instruments like drums, and the actual level of the mic of the drums that gets recorded is really low because there's a lot of acoustic, just natural loudness in drums, so that when you're mixing in the room, you don't need to have as much gain in all the drum channels because you hear it naturally. So if you listen to that back, normally your drums are going to be super quiet. Maybe things aren't in balance, and that's just by nature of what sounds good in the room live. It has a lot to do with acoustic instruments like that. So when you listen back to it recorded, it doesn't sound good at all. So what you got to do is somehow record a multi-track of everything, which is what I've got here. So I've got an acoustic channel, I've got a channel that the pastor uses at the end to start talking. I've got some vocalists, I've got a keys, I've got I've got a bunch of different channels. They had a cajon, so this is all mislabeled because they used an old template. Another vocalist, I got a shaker and acoustic combo, which is kind of an unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. Then I've got a couple reverbs. So anyway, this video I want to show you my approach to starting this mix. I won't get too far, but my battery's dead. Stand by. And we're back. Sorry about that. I swear I had full batteries before I started, but it just plummeted. Anyway, so I want to make this video to show you my process for mixing a live recording. First things first, you got to get the session organized. I have done none of that so far. So you can see the tracks are all mislabeled, and there's no color coding, and I've got no markers. So I will do that all real quick. And through the magic of editing, you don't have to watch any of it. So here we go. Okay, we're back. So let me show you what I just did. I renamed all the tracks. I've got cajon low and cajon high. They had two mics on a cajon. One was probably that Shure Beta 52 that probably pointed at the sound hole to get a lot of the low end, and then an SM57 shooting at the face of it to kind of get everything else. Then we had this was an AT2020 that was, unfortunately, it was placed in front of an acoustic, but the guy playing the shaker was maybe a few feet away, and the mic actually picked up a lot more of the shaker than it did the guitar. So I'm not going to be able to get much of the guitar in here. There'll be times when I can, like when the shaker's not playing, I can, just through clip gain, I can kind of split that section out where he's playing and give it a huge boost. Then I've got another acoustic. There were two acoustics. Then I've got keys, and I've got the three vocalists, Matt, Jen, and Sarah. And I've got two reverb tracks, which I probably won't use. Okay, full disclosure, I've mixed this already. I started a new project just to make this video to go back through the whole process. So I shouldn't lie to you and say, oh, I'll probably do this. Like, I know I'm not going to use these reverbs because too much of Sarah's voice was sent to them in the recording. So that means like the reverb gets pretty drowned out. Unless I want to do some serious automation, I don't feel like doing that. So I'm probably not going to use these. I'll just use my own. Which my template comes in. I've got a 2-second plate reverb here, which I'll probably send her vocal to. I might change it to a room. I don't know. I did a room last time. It was a little bit dark sounding. I tried to EQ it. I don't know if I liked it. So maybe I'll do something else this time. And I know I'm not going to want any delay. These are also part of my template. So yeah, it's a pretty low-key acoustic set. I color-coded everything. I routed them to their respective groups. So cajon, low, and high go to the drums. The shaker, I gave it its own channel. The acoustic goes to its own channel here. I guess I should put them in order. Acoustic there. And then there's keys, which go next. Boop. The 3 vocalists go to the vocal channels, and then I routed my my plate out the effects channel. Why is that up right now? Okay. And then I also routed these to the effects channel, but I know for a fact I'm not using them, so I'm just going to mute them right now. All right. So the project has been set up. The next step is to do what is called the static mix. Ignore that. I'm an avid golfer, and I have a club fitting in a half hour, so I got to finish doing this. Gonna buy some new clubs before golf season kicks into gear. Anyway, so yeah, it is static mix time. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also put this marker track up here. This is a full 4-song worship set that they recorded. So there are 4 different songs, and I wanted to mark where each one was, so I can easily. With my marker track here, I can jump to each one. So this one starts here. I can jump to call upon the name if I want. So that helps me kind of navigate around the project more, or a lot quicker. So it's really handy when you're doing a live mix. Your project's going to be big. It's going to be long, and you can easily kind of get lost in it. So it's nice to have these markers up here to get you around a lot quicker. I mixed a set that was like an hour and a half long back in the fall, and this was a really handy thing because if you can imagine an hour and a half long set, oh, I can't go any narrower, of tracks going, way off my screen. It takes a while. So that's the setup. Now I'll do the static mix. So first thing I'll do is kind of I'll drop all these down to like half, all the faders down to like halfway to give me a lot of headroom. So let's give it a listen here. So I'm gonna base everything off of that cajon level. You can hear. There's acoustic and shaker in that track, but let's bring these lower. So I need to boost this one a lot. I'm gonna turn my speakers up a little bit too. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's get the keys up. Bring everything else down. I try not to go above 0 if I don't have to. I'll make this bigger and wider. I should have done that a while ago. Alright. Matt and Jen are, or, sorry, not Matt and Jen, Matt and Sarah are alternating who's taking the lead and who's singing harmony. So, kind of in the last step, I'll do some automation. But the point of this step is to get the dry mix right, get the fader set at the right level, approximately. So Raise the Hallelujah is okay. Let's jump ahead to Call Upon the Name. Let's find the chorus.
Your love will never end. You overcome. You are the great I am.
Alright, that's pretty good.
You are the great I am. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Let's jump ahead.
And He is on my side. And He has come to light my way.
So it goes without saying, we'll need to do some vocal tuning on these bad boys. They're all very talented singers, but it is difficult. I know I can vouch for them. It is difficult singing well live when you've got all the other stuff going on in your ears, and you maybe can't hear yourself as well as you thought you could. So I try not to be too critical when I hear some bad notes, because sometimes it can make you wince, but yeah, we'll need to do some tuning on these. So I think my dry mix is pretty good. This is a good starting point. Doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, that's how you get started. That's what I recommend. You import all your tracks, you name them appropriately, you color code them, you route them to their respective buses, and then I recommend doing a marker track like this, or whatever the equivalent is in your DAW, so you can flip around quickly through the project, and then you set your faders and adjust clip gain as necessary. Hey, Future Scott here. I was just editing the video and realized I did not mention this is also the time when you would pan any tracks left or right that you want to do. I actually left this entire mix completely mono because I didn't have enough tracks to balance it. If I were to pan one thing left, I wouldn't have another track to pan to the right and keep it balanced. And nothing was recorded in stereo. Everything was recorded in mono. So the keys are literally one mono channel. Each acoustic is one mono channel. If I would have panned both acoustics left and right, if the shaker weren't so overbearing, if the shaker were recorded with his own mic and the acoustic were recorded direct or had its really own isolated channel, I would have panned one acoustic left, one right. But I didn't have that choice because the shaker completely dominated that track. So, yeah, just wanted to add that in here. Okay, on with the video. To kind of get the dry mix, no plugins, no anything, as good as you can. And then you move on and you start adding plugins. You start actually mixing it. So I will show that in the next video. Yeah, sorry if this was longer. This was a little long-winded. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for next week's video and I will show you my approach for mixing this thing, for adding plugins. So please subscribe, share. If you think this is relevant information for churches, especially right now at the time this is being uploaded, then yeah, please share it around, point people my way, all that cool stuff. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.